Morning, everybody. Let's do Bottom Line Thursday in a more controversial topic because we don't
All right.
shy away from the tricky stuff.
What do we got today, Brad?
Yeah, this one sounds serious.
It does, yeah. And so I know you both have been through these discussions with clients on the topic of gender-affirming care.
Yes.
And when we say that, it's not just about the surgery changing someone's gender. It could even be like hormone replacement therapy,
right.
those types of things. But groups over the past year or so have had to decide, self-funded groups, I should say.
Yes.
Fully insured, really, they don't have a choice, but self-funded may decide to either cover or not cover those things.
Yes.
So I'm not a legal eagle, but one court case caught my eye that we can chat about. It was a religious employer that had a self-funded plan. So that religious employer likely had some accommodations that they could choose to cover this or not. They chose not to because of their religious belief.
So that's in their plan document as the sponsor of the plan. Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
They hired Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois to be their third-party administrator.
Makes sense.
Blue Cross of Illinois has that option. Do you want to cover it? Yes or no? We're just paying according to your wishes. What's interesting, they did have a member seeking gender-affirming care. Plan document said, no, it's not covered. They actually ended up suing Blue Cross, not the employer. And Blue Cross is the one just hired to administer the employer's wishes on their plan.
Yeah, they're not the approving entity. They are just following the plan document.
Right. And Blue Cross actually lost in federal district court. And so, yeah, they were responsible for paying this and who knows what type of penalties and so forth. And it has to do with an obscure thing beyond my level of legal understanding, but you might recall some discussion on like section 1557 that had to do with if you receive federal money.
Yes.
Then you cannot discriminate on the basis of various things, including gender.
Yeah, that was last summer. I remember that kind of July, August conversation with several of our clients that have federal funding in some way, and those that don't too, that this is out there. Just let's review. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that the employer, the religious employer, did not, but Blue Cross and other aspects of their business unrelated to this case did. And so they were able to use that angle to go after Blue Cross. So well, first of all, what are your thoughts on that? Is that surprising to you as well? To me, it just stood out.
Very, very surprising. I would love to know who actually paid the claim, because as we all know, self-funded plans goes back to the employer. Well, if the employer says my plan doc says I don't have to pay for this, and now the court
probably didn't pay it. It probably was an outside settlement.
So what is this going to do the next time we've got a religious organization that wants to move to Blue Cross or whoever? I mean, it could be Cigna, it could be Aetna, it doesn't matter. As long as they've received federal funds. It makes me question, Brad, if we have that, will there be a surcharge to that plan? Because if this happens, they're going to pay for it, not the client.
Yeah.
Or, you think about, so Blue Cross Shield probably received a lot of negative press, even though in their eyes, and that was one of their defenses, we did as our client had asked us to do. I have a feeling that if you are with one of these larger national TPAs that are so large, they get federal funds in some aspect of their
Just think of the Medicare business alone.
Yeah, they'll probably just say, you know what, if you want to be our client, you do not have a choice. Even if you have the accommodation, we do not. That's just my.
Well, you start looking at that. I mean, the liability is enormous for that TPA.
Yeah.
Likewise, that employer that has to abide by that section as well, they're going to make the decision to cover it in most cases because they know that that's going to be a liability. You maybe see a bump up of some small regional TPAs that aren't receiving federal funds in this scenario when it comes to an exception due to a religious plan. That could be significant.
Oh my gosh, this is just going to open up the floodgates for so many lawsuits. And yeah, I mean, I think of the diocese that we insure. That's a self-funded plan. It's administered by a blues in a certain state. I mean, that just set the precedent.
Yeah,
it really seems to be a big case for us to be aware of. So anyhow, that's what caught my eye this week.
Yeah, that's one certainly to keep tabs on, and it's probably the first of many that'll come through in this scenario.
Yeah, agreed.
Thanks for keeping your eyes out, Brad.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Brad.
will do.
This is one to ponder.
It is one to ponder. Yeah. Yeah.
Because how, once again, we're not here to say it's right or wrong. We're here to make sure that if you have that claim, is that claim actually paid,
Right.
And I don't know who's paying this claim.
Right.
Fascinating. Well, good stuff. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Yep.
You're
See you guys.
welcome.